Welcome back to Does It Suck? And today we got something crazy for you. This is, I would say, the most insane loader that's ever come into existence. And that would be this right here. Now this monstrosity, this is the Maxxloader. Yes, it's a loader. It's a gigantic backpack loader. Where do I even start about this? So the capacity is 2,000 plus rounds. So yes, you dump an entire case in here and then you just go and I guess play for however long a case lasts you when you need something like this. The design of it is absolutely insane. There's basically like a little feed tray like you would see in a regular loader and the bottom that feeds the paintballs into a tube that brings it up. I'll show you here, guys, here. The tube then brings the paintballs up into another feed tray, and that feed tray is going to feed the paintballs into this tube here. And this tube attaches to your marker itself. So you actually just clamp this into the feed neck. So yeah, effectively it's two agitated loaders inside of a giant green case. It does come with this backpack. It does also come with like a manual and a thing to use to clean the tube if you got a break in there, so that's cool. The backpack is really cool. The backpack actually, as you can see, it's like a big, hardcore, like pretty intense backpack. Man, this thing is huge. Have you guys noticed that yet? Yeah, so you got like lots of straps and clips, very adjustable, so it's very padded on the back. It's got these nice big sort of padded waist straps, so should be very secure, should not be uncomfortable or anything. You shouldn't really be worried about that. And as you can see, you got, pouches. You got little pouches to carry extra things. Now the bottom of the backpack is molly-webbed right here, so you could remove the pouches and then put other pouches on that are also molly-webbed. This right here, this is your tank pouch. So you would obviously put like the largest air tank you can find in there because you're trying to shoot 2,000 rounds in one go. Got a power button right there, so it is accessible. You just kind of reach behind yourself and there's this big nice rubber power button that turns it on. And yeah, basically, yeah. So it's a giant backpack loader that holds 2,000 rounds. So if you haven't seen this before, yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely insane. So the first thing I thought when I saw this was, who in their right minds needs something like this? And also, does it work? Does it suck? So we got our hands on one, which was not easy. I'll tell you that right now. And we are going to take it to the field and we are going to load it to the brim and we're going to put it on something that shoots full automatic because obviously that's the idea. Otherwise you're going to be watching me shoot this thing forever. And yeah, we're going to figure it out. We're going to see, does it feed? Does it feed reliably? Does it feed quickly? How heavy is it? How does it feel? And after that, we are going to come back to the studio and we're going to figure out A, if this thing does what it says it does, or if it just sucks, and B, does anyone really need it? Is this necessary? And I'm pretty sure it's not. Like, I don't think anyone ever needs to have 2,000 rounds on the back. However, pretty cool idea. Obviously, it's going to turn some heads on the field. Like, people are going to be, quite in awe of your ridiculous setup. And it also doubles for, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or Ghostbusters cosplay. So if you're into that, get one of these. So yeah, we're going to go check out the field and run 2,000 rounds through our loader. So yeah, let's go do it. Okay, so we are here at the field. I have strapped on this big, ridiculous Maxxloader. Got me feeling all Ninja Turtle-y. And we put it on a Rise Maxed so we could maximize our max. And yeah, we're going to take it for a spin. So let's see how she goes. The hose is weird, I'll tell you that right now. All right, well, I ran out of air before I ran out of ammo. So that was pretty cool. I mean, it was not feeding perfectly as you guys saw, but I mean, it was definitely feeding. It definitely was feeding for a long time. So we're gonna head back to the studio and yeah, we're gonna wrap up this whole saga on the Maxxloader. So it worked, you know, does its job. I was satisfied with its performance. Probably not the fastest feeding loader in the world, but I don't think that's what it's going for. I'm pretty sure it's going for highest capacity, and I'm pretty sure it wins that in a pretty big way. But yeah, as for whether or not it sucks, no, I'm not gonna say it sucks. I think it is the most impractical thing in the world. I don't think anyone needs this, but I do still think it's pretty cool and pretty awesome. Like, it's just, it is fairly intelligently designed in my opinion. I'm gonna show you guys that in a second. I just wanna show you what I meant by that whole like double feed tray thing. But honestly, like my impressions of it, yeah, it works. It gets the job done. Like, it feeds, it's intimidating. Like I said, this is a head turner. Like, you're gonna have, if you have one of these, people are gonna be asking you questions about it. People are gonna be wanting to hang out with you on the field and see it in action. But yeah, it's not the fastest feeding loader in the world, but it is consistent. We had no breaks or anything like that. We had no issues with the hose. It did a whole case without me actually pulling the trigger, my finger off the trigger. So yeah, that was weird. As for the internals itself, I am gonna actually show you guys that just so you get an idea of how it actually works. Just gotta flip her around there so you guys can see. And then you're basically gonna start by just opening up this buckle right here. With the buckle open, got two little tabs on the side, just kind of lift up on them. And then that's, should get them off the little notches. Lid comes off like that. And now you can see the internals of the loader. So we've got our feed tray right here. Right here is the actual tube that comes from the bottom feed tray. So that bottom feed tray feeds into the tube. That brings them into the top feed tray. Top feed tray feeds them into the tube that brings them to the marker. So lots of trays, lots of tubes, but gets the job done. Putting it back together is, you know, it's a lid. You just kind of line it up. Make sure it seals nice, because that's what keeps water out of it if it's raining. Get your tabs back in. Just like that. There you go. And last step, of course, is just the buckle to make sure nothing comes open. And that is the Maxxloader. Now, my conclusion on this, it does not suck. Not suck, no suck. It is the biggest, most ridiculous, most expensive, most unnecessary loader I've ever seen in my life, and that will probably ever exist. But being expensive and unnecessary is not unheard of for a paintball product. So there's lots of stuff out there in paintball that's very expensive and very unnecessary, but there's also awesome, and that's why people buy them. This is one of those things. This is really cool. Like, it's not for everybody, obviously. It's like, not very few people need to shoot 2,000 rounds before having to reload, but does its job, does what it's supposed to do. The backpack is super comfy, honestly comfier than you would expect it to be, because it's so adjustable and so padded. It is easier than you'd think to forget that you've got a whole case of paint on your back. So I really like the backpack. I thought that was a very, very nice feature, and it makes this all very usable. But yeah, big, expensive, bulky, unnecessary, but still really cool. Like, still really cool. I had fun. Like, I shot 2,000 rounds without letting go of the trigger. Like, that's crazy. Now, does anybody else that's watching this like have one of these? Because we would love to hear some stories from people that have actually like used it on the field. Obviously, we used ours in a static environment. I didn't have to worry about getting shot while having this huge plastic backpack on my back. I have to assume that this will catch some hits that, you know, you wouldn't have caught if you weren't wearing this. But yeah, we would really like to hear of players' experiences with the Maxxloader, because there's not a lot of them out there. And, you know, just curious, does it work for you? Do you like it? Is it one of those things that's more of a novelty than anything? Yeah, so let us know. And if you guys have suggestions for things we should cover in future Does It Suck, we really, really like hearing suggestions. And of course, do all the commenting and the liking and subscribe if you can, all that stuff. And thanks for watching.